How's it going, IZEAFest? Awesome, thank you guys so much. 2:45, what an interesting time. We're almost there through the day, almost when you can start thinking about happy hour and riding those rides tonight. Who's excited for that? Thank you, the IZEA team, and Lindsay and Ted for having me. My name is Kelsey Carroll, as she said. I lead brand social content for Hewlett Packard Enterprise. So the enterprise is underlined there because if you didn't know, HP actually split into two companies last year. So HP took computers and printers that are more of consumer business, and Hewlett Packard Enterprise, or HPE, is a B2B tech company. So I've worked on both sides of the business, but now B2B. And we're going to talk about humanizing B2B social content, so B2B business to business and connecting with real people. And you can find me at Social Kelsey. My handle's up there. There is no B2B or B2C. There's only H to H, human to human. I wish I made that quote up, but that's Brian Kramer quote. Why is being human so important in marketing, especially in B2B tech? People like doing business with people that they like and brands that they trust. So at HPE, we know that there's a real person behind every transaction, and we seek to connect with that person through shared experiences. We want to gain their trust and build credibility by showcasing our customers as the star. And some of our customers are some of the world's largest companies. Disney Parks and Resort is actually one of our customers. DreamWorks Animation is actually one of our customers as well. And so an example of connecting with people using a B2B example is that rather than saying our Flex fabric increases rendering efficiency for DreamWorks movies, we say, kids love Kung Fu Panda, and HPE technology makes that happen. So for brand awareness, connecting with humans is very important. We're going to share some examples of that today. There's so many competing messages for brand awareness, especially on such a tiny thing as your mobile phone. And as we know, the smaller the screen, the less room there is for your brand. And the less tolerance people have for ads. Raise your hand if you love getting ads on your phone. Oh, okay, no, thank you. The X is so tiny and it's so hard to find to get it off your screen. So we kind of have to be a little bit smart about how we advertise on mobile. So you're basically intruding with people when you're advertising to them on their mobile phone. So you want to create content that's worthy of that intrusion. Content that's entertaining, valuable, and makes people smarter with thought leadership content. Oh, and because it's on your phone, it needs to be easily digested in an instant. Struggle. So we're going to talk really quickly today about 3 storytelling techniques to connect on a human level, especially if you have a B2B brand or work in an industry that doesn't have like a shiny new product coming off the shelf every quarter. First is to inspire and engage. Who are you? What's your story? What's your narrative? Showcase innovation. How you tell your story is just as important as your story. And as a B2B tech company, we want to be associated with innovation, and so we think about that as we deliver our content. Enlist advocates. So you have inspiring content, you're deploying it in really cool ways. How are you going to have people share your message for you and kind of galvanize around your story to carry it for you and reinforce it? First example of Inspire Engage is to tap into the zeitgeist. So as a B2B tech company at HPE, we know that our customer probably leans more towards the geeky side, so we like to geek out with them. First example on the left here is about a zombie server. It's that server in the corner that nobody knows what it does, nobody wants to turn it off, and so our IT pros can really relate with that. On the right is a picture of a mess. Copy says, every IT pro's ideal server room, hashtag opposite day. And this kind of geeky humor really gets the people going in the comments, and then we respond. If you ever find out who's responsible, please let us know. Second, go beyond product placement with long-tail content marketing. So we were very spoiled last year when we launched a new brand. We got a lot of brand integrations with TV and movies. We were the technology consultant for Star Trek Beyond film, where we got to tell our innovation story. On Silicon Valley and HBO, our servers helped Pied Piper scale. So this is actually a screenshot, and people, thank you. Scale their business. This is actually a screenshot, and it was really cool because we didn't do a ton of press around it, but our users noticed, and they took screenshots and tweeted it out. And then finally for Mr. Robot, definitely a show about cybersecurity and hacking, and we kind of made a video series based on if this really were to happen in real life, how could you prevent something like this? Another great way to inspire and engage, I think, for you guys who are creators and influencers, sometimes when you're constantly talking about yourself and your products, you kind of hit writer's block, kind of get a little stale. People are like, yeah, whatever. So partnering definitely helps push creative boundaries, especially when you can brief your partner on like, hey, here's what I want to say. They'll come back and say it in a whole different way to a whole different audience. So this is an example of what we did with BuzzFeed for the Star Trek campaign. They did an interview with Chris and Belgie, who are the product designers that actually created the gadgets that were, in the end, used in the film. This is an example of what we did with The Atlantic. So with The Atlantic, we created a fake employee handbook for a hacking company. A lot of people have a misconception that hackers are hoodies in their parents, wear hoodies in their parents' basement or just hacking away. But a lot of these hacking organizations are full-fledged companies with HR departments and 401ks. And so this is an example of a poster that might be in this hacking company. It says, ambition, aspire to climb every firewall. When you do collaborate with other media partners or other influencers or brands, what you can do on Facebook is do this handshake. So it says with Hewlett Packard Enterprise. This is a really elegant solution to the disclosure, hashtag ad, hashtag spawn, because this is clearly branded content. And we were able to leverage their organic audience while also boosting it to our targeted audience. So it's kind of like a really nice hand-in-hand operation there. Does anybody know what this picture is? Shout it out. Yes. Okay. Yes. So this is a very well-known image, and when we were HP, we felt like we needed to jump in on every cultural hashtag, and so as a B2B company, it was like only when it's appropriate. So when we found out that Aruba Networks, our Wi-Fi solution, was giving the Wi-Fi for the CN Tower, we were like, oh, what an awesome opportunity. It's a very well-known image, and we got to put the views hashtag in there, great views, better Wi-Fi, and the people loved it, and all the comments, they're like very clever. So prompt users to take action. Another example is to create little quizzes and trivia just to make sure people are paying attention. You could have great content targeting on point and people still aren't like engaging with it. Put a little quiz to make sure they're paying attention. And then the answers, you will see if your targeting is correct, because people are actually giving correct answers rather than get this ad off my feed or just some gibberish that you get sometimes with paid targeting. And when in doubt, be real. Instagram stories, Snapchat is a great way to kind of cut through the fluff, focus on your people, and connect in a human way. So I only have a few minutes left. I'm going to have to breeze through some of these examples. By 2020, 75% of mobile traffic will be video, but everybody's like, make mobile video, and then the user just doesn't watch it. So the growth of mobile video is going up, retention is falling off a cliff. That's the main thing here. And as you can see from this example in the corner there, 98% of these views came on mute. In fact, 85% of all video views on mobile are on mute. So captions are key for retention. Key takeaway here is that if you don't have captions on your videos, especially if you're paying to promote them, you're wasting your time. So you want to showcase innovation with a mute by default video strategy. That means you know that people are watching them on mute. And I don't know if this video is going to play here, but yeah. So we have captions on all of our videos. That's our little Kung Fu Panda one. And this video, it gets the message across with the text on the video. This is a really cool example with my remaining minute, if you will. Showcase innovation, do something that's never been done before. So with the Star Trek campaign, we got with the Twitter brand strategy team, and we were able to pilot something called Retweet to Translate. We were the first brand to ever do this on Twitter. So we were asking users to guess the meaning behind a Klingon phrase to unlock exclusive content. We would tweet in Klingon, so that's the one on the left, and then in return, they receive the message translated into English with an exclusive behind-the-scenes video. With Snapchat geo-filters, it's a really low-cost way to get brand awareness at tech conferences, or especially in a competitive sense, because there's really no way to track that. This is one example of, we just had 4 filters running in Vegas for 3 days, and it was seen by over 50,000 people, and it was super cheap. Don't be afraid to go live. When somebody's talking, like I'm talking to you guys right here, it's so much more captivating than a recorded video, even though that's so much more of a controlled environment. So we've definitely been experimenting with that. Facebook Canvas ads, 360 content. Who's done 360 content, Facebook or video or photos? Nice, yeah. So we were able to do this really, really quickly. Facebook announced this, and it was one of our top images of the year. All right, I got 1 minute. Okay, so enlist advocates. The best way to have people share content about your brand is to create content about them. What? Yeah. So for us, we lean on our employees to share our message, and so we profile them. We create content. We use their user-generated content on Instagram. There's some pictures that just employees took, and they're like beautiful, and they did really well on our page. And these quote templates. So quote templates are another good thing. You can have like this little template that's brand approved. You just slide in the person's picture, slide in their quote. You can get that from blog posts or podcasts, or maybe even interviewing them, and tag it, and they'll share it too, because they want to build that credibility and share it on their LinkedIn page. Final example is we arm our employees with content through an employee advocacy program called Dynamic Signal. I don't know if you guys have ever heard it, Dynamic Signal, where we input content and they can share it on their personal channels, and they get points for doing so. So this example with the Star Trek BuzzFeed one, Dominika is an employee from Poland. And with this one tweet, our designers working on Star Trek had some neat ideas that were considered for the movie, like a toolkit robot. She took our message global. So finally, just in sum, if you could take anything away, social media at its core is meant to be social. It's human to human. Sometimes it's one to many, a lot of times it's one to one. So if you inspire and engage with creative content, be smart and creative about how you showcase that content, and enlist advocates, whether they're your employees or your customers, your family or friends, to carry and drive home your message. Thank you guys so much.